doing here in this unprecedented circumstances here. Every day I get up for a little bit. I like to practice. So I'm going to take it down here. I pull the metronome online. You can go online, Google anything, metronome, and a bunch of metronomes will come up. And I prefer to use the metronomeonline.com if I'm using that app, or if I'm using a smartphone, I have apps on there for metronomes. They're all free and easy to use. So let's take this down to a reasonable speed since we're just warming up here. All right? Usually a lot of times I warm up about 215 beats per minute, but let's just bring this down to, like, let's say 72 beats. I'm already tuned up and ready to go. So, and let's see. Three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start. 2, 3, and. Just get those fingers loose. Nice and limber. Up 1 fret. Back down. Down, up, down, up, down, up. We just want to get his fingers nice and warmed up. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 2. Bass players, just use the top 4 strings of your guitar, or the only 4 strings. So it's not going to change for you, except you're going to be using your fingers instead of a pick. Or finger players, use your fingers. Alternate them. And I will do this all the way up to the 12th fret. I'll personally, my routine personally, that's just to warm up. Don't go fast. Go at your own comfortably. This is comfortable for me because I've been. See right there, I'm topping at the 12th. Back down. And the only reason I'm doing this fast is just to get through it. But do that for about 5 to 10 minutes. You know, you can even do it while you're sitting around, like, you know, watching TV or whatever. The most important thing is just to pick up the instrument and play. So let's go back down to 72 beats per minute. I'm going to use my major scale now. And I'm going to use a 3-note pattern. You can use a block pattern as well. Starting on F. Extend past the octave. So I want to just cover all notes. Sometimes it's hard to play slower than faster because you got to think about it. Real simple. Use your fingers independently. Don't. You're not Django Reinhardt. You don't have to use only 2 fingers. Don't do that. And a lot of times we do that. Sometimes I see some of you guys doing that, and I have to kind of correct you on that. For more advanced students, another good technique for myself while I'm doing my warm-up exercises, I'll go through that thing fast. Then I'll probably slow down my metronome down to about 185 because I'm not trying to, you know, really get into, you know, craziness and speed. But 1, 2, Let me just start here on, let's just start on A. 1, 2, 3, and. Thinking too much. I'm playing slowly, so I'm having to think, and that is a habit. I mean, that's one thing I will say. It's once you get used to a certain speed, and you start playing fast, it's actually good for like somebody like me to go back and play slowly, so I actually have to think about what I'm doing because it's too easy to just like that, and so it's actually like that's a default of mine. So it's easier to just go back, and that way I actually have to think about my mechanics. See, I missed 2 notes right there. And that's laziness on my behalf from just going through motions. So it's good to actually have to think about what we're doing. More advanced students also like, I mean, we can use a block pattern with that same. I switch them off and on. So I'm getting too used to patterns. All right, so that gives you some stuff to work on, but that gets them warmed up. Bass players, you're doing the same thing, but you're only focusing on the 4 strings, so just keep the same pattern. All right, and just go at your own pace, but try to push yourself a little bit, but not to where you're making mistakes. I want everything to sound. Make it, like I'm making mistakes. Little swing in there. All right, so that's some stuff to work on while we're doing, while we're like away from our lessons and everything. You can always have, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about playing an instrument is that you don't need to be anywhere to, it can be a very independent thing. So, I mean, sometimes it's a great escape during times like this. So it'll give you an out, something that you can do that doesn't require, group activities or whatever. And it's going to, it's a nice, gives you something to work on and to improve yourself. It'll help you get your mind out of everything that's going on around you. And it's a great escape right there without relying on anything other than an instrument. All right, it could be anything. Bass, guitar, mandolin, ukuleles, any instrument you pick up is going to be a great distraction from everything going on in the world. So, all right, so that's a little video lesson just to get by. And keep it up for my kids. If you have any questions, you guys have the Lex Center does have my email address, and I'm an open book with all you guys. I think most of you guys even have my phone number, so feel free to call or text. And that's what I'm here for. All right, so haven't stopped thinking about you guys through all this, so just hang in. All right, we'll see y'all really soon.